Okay, so on the floor, so I've got everything. I've got the roller, I've got a ball, a squishy ball, and I've got a stick, and I've got the tennis ball. So we will work on, what did I do with Mum that illustrates? It's always good to do a one-to-one because then it reminds you where people are getting a bit sticky on. But let's talk about, we'll reiterate neutral spine again, I think. And we will, so rub your hands down those legs, down towards those feet, rub them up on the inside, rub them down on the outside. That would help Sandra as well, because we tend to end up leaving the pelvis sitting like this and bending the top of the body around it, bending from the waist. So I want us to keep the waist strong and keep that torso in one piece. Remember that Barbie doll, she doesn't move in her middle. She opens off her chest and she bends at the legs, but she doesn't bend at the waist. So lean forward so the tummy comes onto those thighs, coming onto that front bottom. Feel how tight those thighs are, where the hamstrings are when you do that. So have your knees bent a bit more if you need to pull forward. So you try to get where you weave from, touching the floor. Hold around those feet and use them to pull. So I'm going to pull with my arms and lift my body, lift my head up, which pushes my front bottom down, which gives me more flexion in my hip, more bend in that hip, and more straightness in my spine and more tension, therefore, in my hamstrings. If I was to push my feet away a little bit, then it creates more tension in those hamstrings. Okay, release those legs. So we're going to sit up tall. So as I sit up, I come through my middle bottom, sit up nice and tall, push those seat bones on the floor. So I'm just going to rock side to side and feel those seat bones into the ground. And then I shimmy forwards and backwards a bit. So I feel those seat bones, really notice them. And then I'm going to put my hands on the floor and then lean back. So now my tailbone's touching the ground. Bring those hands a bit closer together. Pull those elbows together. Push those knees down. Lift that chest up high. Breathing in. Spread those ribs. Keep the shoulders away from the ears. Breathing out. Pull the shoulders behind you. Bring your chin down into your chest. Turn the eyes to the right. Turn the head right, keeping the eyes low, keeping the head tipped forward, and then turn the eyes to the left. So we turn the head left, bring the eyes back to the center, pull that chin down further, lift that chest up. So I'm still leaning back, but I'm back on my tailbone. Bring the eyes up to horizontal, push off those hands. So now I'm coming onto my middle bottom. Feel those seat bones again, shimmy a bit. Hands on those thighs, bring those knees up and pull so that we come onto the front bottom. So we've tilted the pelvis. I'm kind of aware that in the image, it doesn't look like my pelvis is moving because my t-shirt here sort of stays the same at the back. But give yourself a feeling on the front here, my front bottom, where we from touches the floor. So holding onto those legs, push those feet away, which is like that happy baby pose, pushing that head up, gives those hamstrings a stretch, pushes through that, pushing the heels out, pushes the front bottom into the floor more. Lengthen that head, lift that head up and lengthen so the body stays straight. Keeping the body straight, lift up into vertical. And then we're going to lean back, put the hands on the floor again. So we've literally tilted the pelvis. It's gone from this angle to vertical to forwards. So I got my fingers sort of pointing towards my body, same angle. Push those elbows straight, lift that chest up. Bring that chin all the way up to the sky. Breathing in. Breathing out, pull that chin all the way down into the chest. Putting that chin down, put those legs straight, turn the eyes to the right side of the right leg. Lift that left ear away from that left shoulder. In fact, pulling that left ear away from the heel of the hand. So let's extend that stretch all the way down that arm. Pulling that left ear away. Eyes come to the center. Eyes go to the right side of the right leg and push through the heel of the other arm. Pulling that right ear, away from that right shoulder. Stretching. And then lift yourself up to vertical. Eyes horizontal. Take your hands away, so middle bottles pointing to the floor. This time we're going to curl the back, so hands on the legs. Take those eyes down towards the toes and curl that back forward. Reach those arms up, reach them forward and feel the stretch through that back. So we're stretching one vertebra away from the other, all the way along the length of the spine. Pushing the head up, breathing in, breathing out, lifting that back up. So this is like the cat and dog sitting. Now lift yourself up tall, roll those shoulders up to the ears, round and back, stay vertical, push those hands on the floor. I'm using my knuckles and push the chest forward. So now we're staying kind of vertical on that pelvis and we're just flicking that back so the tummy comes forward, and then take those hands on those legs and push the back and take so the tummy goes back. And bring those hands round to behind you and push that tummy forward. So now we're flick-flacking the spine, as it were. And then take those hands on those thighs and push that back, bring the head down. And one more, take those knuckles on the floor behind, push that belly forward, bring that chin up. And then bring those eyes to horizontal and come into neutral. Pop the left hand on the right knee, right hand on the floor behind, lift and turn. Turning all the way around. So as I turn, I pull that right shoulder back. I pull the breastbone around to the right. I bring the tummy button around to the right. I push those seat bones into the floor and stay anchored. And then come back round to the front. Put the right hand on the left knee, left hand behind, lift that chest. So we do it from the other way. Anchor those seat bones, turn that tummy button, turn those ribs, turn those shoulders, turn those eyes. Breathing in, breathing out, come back round to the front. Bring those hands up to horizontal and lower yourself down. So pushing your hands towards your feet, pushing from this tailbone down to the floor, waistband lowering, ribs lowering, head lowering, arms all the way over the head. Reach and stretch those fingers away from the toes. Push that right hand, take hold of the right wrist in the left hand and pull it over to the left. Bring those feet over to the left. Cross the left leg over the right. Push that right hip to the floor, stretch through that right side. Breathing in, breathing out. Bring those hands back to the top, bring those feet back. Walk those hands to the feet to the right. Walk those hands to the right. Use your pivot, your body. So push your head in the floor, lift your shoulders and turn. Take that hold on to the left wrist with the right arm. Push that left arm away. Cross that left leg over the right. Push the left hip to the floor. And lengthen that left side. Breathing in. Breathing out. Breathing in. Breathing out. Bring those hands back to center. Bring those feet back to center. Take those arms up to the sky. Pull those shoulders down into the floor. And also push the head in the floor and bring those shoulders down towards the waist. Take those hands apart to the floor, squeezing them down onto the floor. Squeezing those shoulder blades together, pushing the back of the head in the floor, pushing the tailbone in the floor. Putting those shoulder blades together, breathing in. Breathing out, flatten the back, bring those palms together. Breathe in, open those arms, lift the chest up, pushing the head in the floor, lifting the spine away. Close those arms, flattening the back into the floor. Open those arms, lifting that chest up, lifting the back up, pushing the tailbone in, pushing the head in. Flatten the back, bring those hands up, breathing in. Okay, open those arms, pushing the head in the floor, bum in the floor, lifting the spine, relaxing those legs. And then just release. Lift the head, turn it to the right. So I'm looking down that right arm, pushing that right nose to the floor, right ear to the floor. Lengthening those hands away, turning that neck. Bring those eyes back up to the sky. Lift that head and turn it left. Look down the length of that arm. Pushing the left nostril down. Left ear down, pushing those hands away from each other. Bring those eyes back up to the sky. Bring those hands up together. Push those fingers towards the feet. Roll yourself all the way up to sitting and reach all the way down those feet. Down those legs. Good. Pull yourself all the way up, reaching down those legs. Stretching, stretching, stretching. Loosen that head and neck. And then sit yourself up nice and tall. And then bring those arms up. And then rolling all the way down towards the floor. Rest those hands on the ground, palms up. Bend your knees up so your feet are flat to the ground. Right, we're going to talk about neutral spine for a second here. Then we're going to do a bit of rolling and stuff, and then we'll do this again. So, lying like this, my shoulders are lifted off the ground a bit. So I'm going to roll those shoulders up to the ears, pull them into the floor, slide them down. Push the back of the head in the floor as I slide my shoulders down so that I release the friction. Right, pull that spine down into the floor. Pull the back of the neck into the floor. So pull those bottom ribs into the floor. Make those middle ribs touching the floor. Try to release that neck so there's no bend at the top of the back. But this is going to be hard until we do our rollering. Okay. Now the lower back is probably in contact with the floor. So I want you to turn the tailbone down and lift your waistband up a little bit without letting those ribs lift up. Now flatten, tailbone comes up, waistband goes down. Now arch that lower back, keeping the bottom ribs on the floor, pushing the tailbone down, waistband comes up. Now tilt so that the tailbone comes up, waistband comes down. Right, now go onto the tiptoes and move your heels around. Now go on the heels and move your tiptoes around. Flick your feet around so you're not pushing off your feet. Arch that back again, lifting that waistband, trying to turn that tailbone down. Keep those lower ribs down. Move those feet so you're not using your legs. Flatten that back so the tailbone lifts away from the floor, waistband's down, feet are soft. Turn that tailbone down so we get coordination. Right, now this is going to be, it's harder. It'll be easier in a minute as we do, or as we go through the session and do more exercise. Right, straighten those legs out, keeping that spine. Take those hands up, mum, grab your rope, and you're going to roll yourself all the way up to sitting. Sit up nice and tall. Okay, grab a squishy ball. Have you got a squishy ball, Helen? If you haven't, just, oh, okay. Yeah, grab your squishy ball. So we're going to use the squishy ball to start with. So I'm going to go down on my right elbow, take the ball and roll it in under the spine towards the bottom ribs. Bend your knees up. Just wait for Helen to get back. Bend your knees up. Now take the weight onto the bottom ribs and take hold of your head. And then lower your head back over the ball. So my head's on the floor, back's lifted on that ball, bum's on the ball. On the floor, rather. Okay, now I'm going to get you to lift the bum, walk it away from the ball a bit, walk the ball up towards the head. And you're just going to rock from side to side on that ball. And then you can hold onto the mat if you want, lift the bum up, pull down towards the feet so the ball moves up a touch. You've got to lift the chest up, so use your elbows. Bums on the floor, heads on the floor, rocking the ball side to side, using your elbows to keep yourself in this arch. Hold on to your mat. Pull your bum down away from the ball a bit more so the ball comes between those shoulders. Use those elbows to keep you arching, moving that ball side to side. And then use the mat again and bring the ball to into that neck area or the top of the shoulders, rocking side to side. Take the head in the hands, and then you're going to just lift the bum and drag your body over the ball, bringing it down to those, oh, so it's going to pull all your clothes, down to those bottom ribs. And then we're going to drag it back. So it's hard to drag on the ball because it's squishy. So we're just going to sort of meander our body side to side, snaking it, wiggling ourselves down, using that ball to mobilize. Wiggling around. And then we're going to stop with it in that bra strap area. Lean onto the left side this time and take the ball out. Now lying flat on the floor, hands, palms up. Roll those shoulders up to the ears. Push the back of the head in the floor, slide those hands down. Lift with that, the arms, lift that chest up. Now pull those bottom ribs into the floor, pull the whole back into the floor, lower ribs, middle ribs, upper ribs. So the length of our rib cage is into the floor. And now tilt the pelvis so the tailbone goes down, waistband lifts, flatten. Put those legs out straight. Tilt the pelvis down, flatten that waistband down. Tilt the pelvis down, waistband lifts. Flatten the waistband, pelvis lifts. Tilt the waistband down. So there should be more movement, but we're keeping those bottom ribs on the floor. So we're rocking that pelvis around. Less tension through the lower back as to create the arch and the flatten. Okay, bring that right knee up, bring that left, oh actually no, leave your legs where they are, sorry. Bring the hands up, roll yourself up to sitting. Now grab your roller in, which is a harder thing. So elbows either side of the body on the roller, but roller is on those bottom ribs. Or bottom ribs are resting on the roller. Okay, so now we've done the ball, we've done a bit of arching. We're going to take hold of the head and the hands, resting on those bottom ribs, breathing in. Breathing out, open all the way over, head to the floor, rib cage up, stretching through that front, breathing out. Lift the body back up as you breathe in. Move the roller up a bit, breathe in. Sandra, you're a bit too far ahead of yourself. The roller should be below your bra strap area now. Breathing out, open. Breathe in and lift. I think it's still too high up, Sandra. It's on your shoulders. Yeah. Move the roller. So Helen, come up. So we're up, breathing in. Move the roller, breathing out and open. So now it's on the base of my shoulders, Sandra. Breathe in and lift. Move the roller a few centimeters. Breathe out and open. Now it's on my shoulders, but my head's not quite resting on it yet. Bring that body up. Move the roller again. This time my head will rest on it. Breathe out and open. Back of the head rests on the roller. Lifting. Take the head back in the hands. Lift the bum off the floor. Roll yourself down on that roller and roll yourself back. Roll yourself down and roll yourself back. Roll yourself down and lean on that left side. So we're just going on the left side up and down and come back to the center. And just lean a bit more on the right side. Up and down once and back to center. Lengthening over the roller and then bring that head up, put those elbows on it and lift yourself away. So we haven't done very much, we've just gone up and down and we've just gone onto the side. So sitting up nice and tall, roll those shoulders up to the ears, round and back, move the roller out of the way, grab hold of your rope, mum. Holding in front, breathing in. On the out breath, lower one vertebra at a time, all the way down to the mat. Take those arms all the way overhead, reach and stretch. Pull the shoulders down to the waist. Bring those hands up to the sky. Bring those arms down by your waist. Rolling the shoulders up to the ears, down and back. Push off the upper arms and lift the chest away from the floor. Breathing in, squeezing those shoulder blades together. Breathing out. Breathing in, fill the lungs up with air. Spread all those ribs. Breathe out, squeeze the shoulder blades together. Okay, lowering that back onto the floor so we flatten everything. Now engage those bottom ribs, middle ribs, top ribs, back of the neck pulling towards the floor, shoulders to the ground, palms are up. Flatten that lower back hard in the floor so the tailbone lifts. Now turn the tailbone down to arch the back, keeping those bottom ribs on the floor. Do not hunch those shoulders. Flatten the back. Now arch the back a bit. So the palms are up, flatten the lower back. Arch. So this should be easy to move. And it's just a coordination thing, keeping those ribs down and arching that back. Flatten. Arch. Realize how you want to lift your ribs off the floor. Arch. Okay, hold here. Find neutral, which will be in between those two. So it'll feel like the body's lengthened. You're not forcing the body over to lift the back up. You're not forcing the body down. Bring that right leg up. Bring that left leg up. So this should be easier than the first time you did it. Bring that right leg off the floor. Bring that left leg off the floor. Draw in the core like you're stopping yourself having a wee. Lower that right heel to the floor and lift it up. Lower that left heel to the floor and lift it up. Lower that right heel. Make sure those ribs are still down. Make sure those shoulders are still down. Lift the right heel up. Lower the left heel to the floor. Keep that lower back lifted. Lift that left foot up. Lower the right foot to the floor. Straighten the right leg out straight. Bring that right leg back in, bring it back up. Lower the left leg to the floor. Straighten that leg out straight. Bring that leg back in, bring it back up. So focus on that neutral spine. Palms are up. Keep those upper arms down on the ground. Keep those ribs on the ground. Bottom ribs, middle ribs, top ribs. Keep that lower back slightly lifted. Take that right foot to the ground. Take it out straight. Hold it there, just hovering above the floor or just touching the ground. Lift that right leg straight up in the air. Bend that right knee. Take that heel over to the floor. Straighten that right leg out straight. Lift it up to vertical. Bend that knee. Take that right heel to the floor. Take that right leg out straight. Bring it up to vertical without flattening the back. Bend the knee. Leave that leg there. Take that left leg down to the floor. Extend it out straight. Lift it into the air to vertical. Feel the hamstring. Bend the knee. Lower that foot to the floor. Lengthen that leg out straight. Lift that leg to vertical. Bend that knee. Over to the floor with the foot. Out straight with the leg. Lift that leg up to vertical. Bend and hold. Okay, now we're going to be active with the tummy muscles. So we're going to flatten the back, lift the bum up and release to neutral. Flatten the back, lift up the bum, release to neutral. Flatten the back, lift up the bum, release to neutral. Keeping those shoulders down. Lift, release, lift, release. Don't hunch the back up. Lift, release. Head stays down. Lift, release. Two more. Lift, release. One more. Lift, release. Take those legs up straight in the sky. Take those arms out to 45 degrees. Put the palms down. Lower that left leg. Lower the left leg over to about 45 degrees. Sorry, lower both legs to about 45 degrees. Take those legs back to the vertical. So the hip tilts as well a bit and the ribs stay on the floor. Take the legs right as far as you can without capsizing. Bring those legs back up. Don't capsize, don't strain your neck. Over to the left. Push with that left hand into the floor to stabilize. Bring those legs back up. Over to the right. Push with that right hand to stabilize. Bring those legs back up. Over to the left to stabilize. Bring those legs back up. Over to the right to stabilize. Bring those legs back up. One more each side. Over to the left. Stabilize with that hand, pushing the arm in the floor. Bring them back up. Over to the right. Stabilize with that right arm. Bring those legs back up. Bend those knees. Take that right leg, bend those knees. Now neutral spine. Roll the shoulders up to the ears. Slide them down. Flatten the ribs. Open the lower back. So this pelvis is horizontal. Take that right leg out straight, drawing in at that core as you lengthen. Bring that right leg back in. Draw in the core, take that left leg out straight. Bring that back in to lengthen. Take that right leg out straight, engaging those tummy muscles, engaging those glutes. Bring that leg back in. Clench with the glutes as you lengthen that left leg, drawing in that core. Bring that leg back in. Go out with the right leg. Bring it back in. Go out with the left leg. Bring it back in. Go out with the right leg. Bring it back in. Go out with the left leg. Bring it back in. Pop the right foot down, pop the left foot down. Bring those arms up to the sky. Lengthen those legs out. Mum, grab your rope. Breathing in on the out breath, roll yourself all the way up to sitting and reach yourself all the way forwards towards those feet, stretching through that back. Stretching through that back, rounding, pushing the spine out backwards. And then sit up nice and tall. Okay, so we've done the neutral spine lying. We've shown that by opening and rolling, it'll improve being able to do the neutral spine. Now we're going to engage those muscles. So we're going to come around onto all fours and we're going to remember neutral spine kneeling. So we remember we've got to get that pelvis in the right place. So turn the tailbone up, drop the belly down and arch that back and lift the chin up and stretch through that front. Lengthening. So this is what we do on the roller when we're the other way up, or when we're on the ball. We're arching that back over it, and we're stretching the front. Now turn that tailbone down and push that back up. So this is what we do when we lift the hands up to the sky and flatten the back into the floor. And then we turn the tailbone and we lift the head up and we lower the chest and the belly. And then we turn that tailbone down, push that spine up, bring those eyes down. Now neutral, turn the tailbone round until our pelvis is horizontal to the floor. So push the head away from the tailbone, pull the back of the head up to the sky, eyes looking straight down. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, slide those hands forward on the ground and stretch through those armpits and stretch that chest. Breathing in, breathing out, lengthening, pulling those knees apart on the floor, pulling those arms into the floor, pulling that chest open. Breathing in, on the out breath, lengthen those hands, stretching through that chest, stretching through those arms. And then slide the body back, dragging those arms, and bring yourself up onto all fours. Turn that tailbone down, bring those eyes to the knees. And then turn that tailbone up, bring those eyes to the sky. Okay, I'm going to do something a bit different. Slide those hands out wide, taking the forehead to the ground. Bring that left hand in. And then turn the head so that the eyes look at the left hand And we try to straighten that left arm. We're obviously not going to, and you'll feel the stretch through that right arm, through that right shoulder. Breathing in, you'll feel it through your forearm, feel it through the front of your arm. If it's too much in the forearm, clench your nut fingers in, and then stretch the hand. Bring the hand into a fist, and then stretch it out. Bring it into a fist, stretch it out. And then come back over to the front, bring that right hand in, take that left hand out wide, turn over facing that left hand, right hand rather, sorry, right. Stretch that left hand away, feel the stretch through that left forearm, spread those fingers, bring the hand into a fist, spread the fingers, bring the hand into a fist. Spread the fingers. Now try to push that arm, push off that right arm to straighten. So we're lifting the left side, lifting the right side, stretching the left. So we do this lying on our tummy sometimes. Bring the left hand into a fist. Spread those fingers. Bring it into a fist. Spread those fingers. Now release. Bring that left hand in. Forehead on the ground and bring yourself up onto all fours. Okay, turn the tailbone down, push the back up. Turn the tailbone up, bring the belly down. So the purpose of that is to stretch the shoulder. So again, you limit, or you are the restrictor on how much you stretch. So don't go into 100 out of 100. Go to sort of 50 out of 100 in discomfort. All right, come onto your elbows, take those knees away and come down onto your tummy. So hands are out like a pitchfork. Forehead is on the ground. Clench the bum, push the pubic bone in the floor. Lengthen those legs so the knees and feet are just off the floor, clenching with the bum. Draw the tummy in. Roll those shoulders up to the ears, round and back. Just rest those legs on the floor, but keep them engaged. Breathing in. On the out breath, lift that chest and head away from the floor as if there's a candle under your chin. You're pulling it backwards. Keep the bottom ribs on the floor, drawing in the tummy, so we're lifting that belly up. And we're bending through that chest, so it's like that puppy pose again. And then release. And then roll the shoulders up to the ears, down and back. Push off those forearms, lift. So we're bending, we're using the arms to lift that chest up. Pulling it away from the floor, stretching. Feel the stretch through those shoulders. And release. Around the top of the bra strap area. Roll the shoulders up to the ears, down and back. Push off those forearms, stretch through that chest. So this is exactly what we do on the roller. Exactly what we do on that ball. Exactly what we do in puppy. Exactly what we do lying on our back, pushing the upper arms in the floor. And now we're doing it laying on our front. Lifting that head away. And release. Bring that right hand up towards the waist, flat on the floor. Elbow high. Rock over onto the left hand side. Let that left arm go away a bit. Bring that right knee up and lift that right side off the floor. So this is the same stretch that we did on all fours, and we just let the arm go outside. Except you'll feel this more in the shoulder, where the other one you probably felt more in the forearm. Putting that shoulder down, the left shoulder down. Push the left arm into the floor. Breathing in. On the out breath, release. Lift off that left side, that right side a bit more. Push that left arm into the floor. Breathing in. On the out breath, release. Lift that right side further. And then release. Let that right leg go out straight. Bring that left arm in. A hand to the floor, bring that left knee up, let the right arm slide out slightly. Straighten that right leg, feel the stretch in the chest. Push that right arm into the floor, breathing in. Breathing out. Lift that left side up. Push that right arm into the floor. Breathing in, lift that left side up a bit. Push that right arm into the floor, lengthen that neck, and release the push. Now lift with that left side further off that left hand, feel the stretch through the chest. Breathing in, Breathing out. Now lower down to the ground to flat, forehead on the floor. So feeling that pelvis, we're getting neutral spine here. So what I did with Mum was a lot of stretching the hip, the front of the hip, in order to realise the importance of releasing that to get the core strong. So clench the bum, push the pubic bone in the floor. Point those toes, lift those thighs just off the ground. Draw your tummy in so it's not pivoting and leaning onto the floor. Lift those legs up, draw in that core, be straight. Now lift the hand and forearm up with the elbow still on the floor and lower. Hand and forearm up, elbow still on the floor and lower. Hand and forearm up, so breathe out as you lift, in as you lower. Breathe out and lift, in and lower. Breathe out and lift, hold it here. Now lift the whole arm up into the sky, trying to get the hand above the forearm, the elbow. Touch the elbow down. Lift that arm up. Touch that elbow down. Lift that arm up. Keep the tummy up, keep the legs up. Touch the elbow down. Lift the arm up. So holding here, this is the whole body's engaged. We've got the glutes engaged. Legs are long and strong, core's lifted. Now pulse those arms up, getting the back muscles to work. Lift, 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 lift. This is increasing the posture for standing. Lift, it's improving the posture for walking. Lift, hold those arms up. Lower everything down. Roll the shoulders up to the ears, down and back. Draw in the tummy. Clench with the bum, lengthen the legs. So by lengthening and straightening the legs, they come off the floor. Okay, the right leg, we're going to lift that up without letting the tummy pivot down for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift the left leg up for 5, clenching the bum, 4, 3, 2. Hold up for 1. Lift both legs up for 5. 4, push the pubic bone down, 3, 2, 1, and release. Okay, roll those shoulders up to the ears, down and back. Draw in the tummy, lift it up, clench the bum, lengthen the legs, lift those knees and feet off the floor. So we're in this position. Bring the hands and forearms up, bring the whole arm up. Pulse those up, hands up to the sky for 5, 4, 3, 2, hold them there. Okay, so we're in our straight posture. Now we're going to clench the bum and lift the right leg higher for 5. So this is walking. 4, foot goes on the floor, foot goes behind. 2, 1, left leg, clench the bum, lift that leg. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold those legs, lift both legs for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower everything down. Roll those shoulders up to the ears, down and back. Clench the bum, lengthen the legs, draw in the tummy, lift up that core. Bring those arms up in the sky. Lift arms and legs for 5, 4. Don't let the tummy go down. 3, 2, 1, and release. Okay, breathing in. Breathing out. Now roll over onto the left-hand side. Put the left leg straight. Bring that right leg up and over and tuck it under. Bring both hands away on the floor. Let that head come down. Breathing in. On the out breath, I'm going to take that right arm, top arm, all the way up into the sky, all the way over to the floor behind. Reaching those hands apart from each other, pushing the knee towards the right. Towards the left, so towards the left hand. Trying to turn at that tummy button, trying to turn at those ribs. Trying to take that ear and nose to the floor, bring those hands back together. Open those arms apart. Bring those hands together. Open those arms apart. Bring those hands together, leave them together. Take that top hand down towards the knee, over the knee. Keep it on the floor, bring it all the way up behind you. all the way around and over your head, down towards the knee, over the knee, on the floor, all the way around behind, all the way up and back on your hands. Take that top hand up over your head, all the way around behind you, all the way down, back on top of the other hand, all the way over, all the way around, back on that other hand. Pushing those hands away, bring that top palm all the way up into the sky, all the way over to the floor, reach and lengthen, turn that ear to the ground, breathing in, breathing out. Bring that hand all the way back up. Bring that hand all the way open. And then release those legs. Spin yourself over to the other side. You can move your arms if you want to get yourself over. Take those hands on the floor away from you. Put the underneath leg straight. Tuck that top knee into that underneath that bottom leg. Hands are on top of each other. Bring that right hand, the left hand on top, all the way up into the sky, all the way over to the floor behind, turning the eyes, reaching, turning through the middle, so turning the tummy button up, feeling the stretch through that lower back, bringing those ribs up and over, bring those hands back together. Bring those hands all the way up and open, pushing that ear to the floor. Bring those hands all the way over. Bring those hands all the way up and open. Turning through that middle. Bring the tummy button up, bringing those ribs up. Bringing those hands together, leave them together. Take that top hand down on the floor, down to the leg, over the leg, on the floor, all the way around, over the head, back on the hands. Bring it all the way down, over the leg. All the way behind, around, up, and then leave those hands together. And then take that top arm all the way up, over the head, all the way round, behind, down, over the leg. Back on top of the other one, all the way up, all the way around, all the way over. Bring those hands and rest on top of each other. Breathing in on the out breath, top arm all the way open. Push those hands apart. Turn those eyes left. Feel how you're getting more movement just by getting that shoulder working. Bring those hands together. Bring those hands all the way up to open. Bring those hands all the way to closed. Bring those hands all the way to open. And then release those legs and come to lie on your back. Okay, roll those shoulders up to the ears, slide them down, turn the palms up. Breathing in, breathing out, feet are flat, knees are bent. So flatten those lower ribs into the floor, flatten the middle ribs, flatten the top ribs. Bring those eyes up to vertical, so don't let the chin lift up too high. Pull those hands down towards the waist, keeping those ribs on the floor. Flatten that lower back. Arch that lower back, pushing the tailbone down. Flatten that lower back and let that tailbone lift up. Push that tailbone down, lift the lower back up. Keep the shoulders relaxed. Keep those ribs all on the floor. You can wiggle yourself around to get yourself so that you're in neutral. Flatten that back by lifting the tailbone up, lift that lower back, middle back. And then arching by pushing the tailbone down. Feel how much looser that all feels. Rock that head from side to side. Let that chin go all the way down to the shoulder. All the way up and over and down to the shoulder on the other side. So all the way, rock one way and rock the other way and rock and rock and bring those eyes to vertical. Bend those elbows. Push those upper arms into the floor, lift that chest up. I've got my knees bent still, lifting up onto my head, squeezing my shoulder blades together. So mum, this is something we were doing, getting the upper shoulder open. So pulling those shoulders behind you, squeezing those shoulder blades and release. Pushing those elbows in the floor, lift that chest up and release. Push those elbows in the floor, lift that chest. So I'm resting on my tailbone, elbows, back of the head, my feet are soft on the floor. And release that spine down. One more. Push off those elbows, land on the back of the head, pushing the tailbone down, feet are flat, are soft on the ground. And then release. Okay, roll those shoulders up to the ears, round and back. Lengthen those legs out. Bring those arms up to the sky. Follow the fingers and roll yourself all the way up to sitting. You might be facing the other way. I know mum flicked herself around. Good. Roll yourself all the way forward. So my lower back feels a little bit stiff because we've done lots of arching. We just loosen it up and then we sit up straight. And then we put the right hand on the left knee, left hand behind and turn. So we get a bit of movement and we come around the other way, left hand on the right knee, right hand behind and turn. And then come back to the front. Okay, I'm going to swivel myself around, grab your stick. Grab your stick. Sitting on the floor. So rest the stick across your legs and hold behind your thighs. So we're going to reacquaint those seat bones. So rocking side to side, hold behind those thighs. Lift yourself up tall, pushing the seat bones in the ground, pushing that middle bottom in the ground. So we're more on that neutral spine. Roll those shoulders up to the ears, push the hands on the floor, get those shoulders back, get that chest open. So not flaring here with the ribs under the boobs. We're pulling from the breastbone, pulling the body out sideways. Pulling the body sideways, pulling the front of the body apart from each other. Hands are on the floor, using that as a lever. Rocking side to side, come to rest on the middle bottom, lift, push with those. So I've got my knuckles on the floor, bring your knuckles in closer to your bum. And we're going to push those arms straight and lift the bum off the ground. So we pull the shoulders down and then we rest here. So don't lift your bum forward, Helen. So I don't want you going like that action. I want you pushing those hands in the floor and you're just lifting up. I'm only lifted about an inch, but I pull the lift is from the shoulders. Shoulders pulling down, shoulders release. Shoulders pull down, shoulders release. Shoulders pull down, shoulders are open. Release. So we get the shoulders in the right place. Now we're going to hold, our body can hold better. Take hold of that stick. So as I push my stick forward, my shoulders stay there. Pushing forward, keep those shoulders there. Bring that stick back. Push that stick forward. Don't let the shoulders move. Bring the stick back. Push the stick forward. Bring the stick back. Rest the stick on your legs again. Put your knuckles on the floor. Squeeze those shoulders and open that chest. Feel how much you lost. So opening. Now we're going to lift the bum off the floor again. So push the head vertically to the sky. Up. I haven't gone forward with my bum. Shoulders are back and open. Release. Pull those shoulders back. So we're getting the muscles to engage without being dynamic. So we're just pushing the hands into the floor. So our shoulders have to hold back. Lift that chest forward. That's where the body has to stay. Now we rest down. Now we take the hands on the stick. Keep those shoulders there. Take that stick up in front. Bring that stick to the chest. Push that stick forward. Now take it up high, but keep those shoulders there like we've got a skewer through them. Up above the head, mum. Yep, pulling that stick. So we're going to pulse it backwards. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take the hands to the outside edge of the stick. Bring it down behind the body, behind the back. Feel how the tummy muscles have to work. Lift that chest up. Turn the body to the left. Feel the chest is open. Come back to the center. Feel how you have to use your tummy. Turn the body right. Back to center. Turning left. Back to center. turning right, back to center, turning left, center, chest up, right, center, left, center, right, center, left, center, and right, center. Stay facing forward. Push that stick up in the sky. Breathing in on the out breath, pass the stick backwards for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it back. Bring it down behind you without touching your body. Push it up high. Good. Chin up, mum. Don't move your head to avoid it. Pull that stick down. So do it slowly. Hold the ends of your stick, mum. The outside ends. Make it easier. Push that stick up. Spreading those hands. Lift that chest up. Arms are straight. Take the whole stick behind for 5, 4. No, straight arms, mum. Straight arms. Arms up. Okay, we're passing back for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold up here. Bend those elbows, keep it wide. Just bring it down to level with the middle of your head. Push it up high. Down for 2 more. Push up. Chest up. 1 more. Push up. Bring it over in front. Bring it to the chest. Pop it on your legs. Hands on the floor behind. Pull the shoulders back. Right, so it's tummy muscles. You feel it on your thighs because your upper back is still compressing forward. Shoulders are a bit restricted and the tummy muscles. So once we get better with all that, the thighs get better. Take those hands about 1 inch back from the bum. Pull those elbows towards each other. Pull the ribs forward. So as if somebody's got a hold of my upper arm, I've got my foot on between my shoulders and they're pushing that forward and putting my arms back. Breathing in. On the out breath, push off those hands, lift that body up. Lower that body down. And lift that body up. Lower that body down. Lift up, pulling those shoulders down. Lower. Push off those knuckles. Take the hands off the floor, just rest them on the legs. Keep those shoulders back and down. Use those heels to keep you forward. Pushing that seat, the middle bottom into the floor. Take those hands straight up in front without the stick. Take those hands straight up in the air without the stick. Take those hands out wide to the floor without the stick. So we're feeling the shoulders being stabilized. Bring those hands over the stick. Bring them up in front. Bring them up into the sky. Bring them out wide. Take hold of the stick again. Push it forward without collapsing. Staying tall. Bring it back. Bringing the elbows towards each other behind you. Trying to break the stick around your chest. Pushing forward. So we do this with the bands. Elbows back. Hands forward. So Helen, we were talking about the bands this morning. Elbows back. You should come and join us tonight. Pushing forward. 5:45. Elbows back. Pushing forward. Take that hand up into the sky. Okay, we're going to side stretch. We're going to take the right arm to the floor. So it's about 1 foot from my bottom here. And I'm going to push that left arm away, keeping the seat bones on the ground. So I'm stretching that left side. Breathing in. Breathing out, lengthen. Push off that left hand. Bring that stick up in the sky. Take that left arm to the ground, which is about 1 foot away. Push that left hand, the right hand over the head, keeping it a stick's leg, keeping the just pushing onto the top of the stick, so that's keeping your distance. Seat bones are even on the floor, so that's keeping your curve. Push off the stick, lift up to bring the stick above the head. Bring that stick down in front. Lean forward and pop it over your toes. Push the toes away, stretch through that upper body. Rest that stick on the floor. Bring yourself up to vertical. Okay, 1 more to neutral spine, arms in front. lower down to flat. We're just going to have a final reference, lying flat. Roll those shoulders up to the ears, down and back. Push those upper arms into the floor, lift that spine away, push the back of the head in the ground, so all of my back's off the floor, including my shoulders. Now lower the shoulders to the floor, lower the ribs, flatten that lower back. Pull the bottom ribs, middle ribs, top ribs into the ground, pull the back of the head in the ground. Now turn the tailbone down, arch that lower back up, flatten that lower back by lifting the pubic bone and the tailbone. Take the tailbone down, arch up. This should feel easier. No strain on the lower back. It might not have more motion, but you should feel it's less straining. Now find that middle position. So the bottom ribs, middle ribs, top ribs are all flattened. Little lift off the waistband. Bring that right leg up and in. Bring that left leg up and in. Draw in that core. Take that right leg out straight. It should be easier. Bring it back. Take that left leg out straight. It should be less strain on the body. Bring it easier. In, sorry. Take both feet onto the floor. Lengthen both legs out straight. So it's easier to maintain this neutral spine. Bring those arms up in the sky, mum, grab your rope. Rolling all the way up to sitting. Reaching all the way forwards. Sitting up nice and tall. Left hand on the right knee, right hand behind. One twist and turn. Lifting, turning, releasing. Breathing in, back to center. Hand on the other leg, lift and turn the other way. Back to center. Bring those arms all the way up into the sky, lifting that chest. Bring those arms all the way out wide, dust the floor. All the way up in the sky, leave them there. Breathing in. On the out breath, push those arms up higher, push those knees down, bring the toes to the nose. Release those arms, release those legs. And roll your shoulders. Good, so that was way more on torso, core, opening the chest.